afternoon. Dr. Rummel, distinguished faculty, fellow classmates, families, and friends, thank you for allowing me an opportunity to address you all this afternoon. I am so humbled and honored to speak on behalf of our cohort. I'm very proud of each and every one of my peers, and am so grateful for the support of this remarkable department. I know that today is an emotional day for all of us. Coupled with our excitement and pride, looms news of the nearly impossible job market perched atop our chamber doors, taunting our desperate job applications with chants of nevermore. To be frank, I have nothing to offer resembling any sort of solution as to how to shoo away this metaphorical, ominous raven. I have certainly not been asked to speak today because I have any special insight or experience to share. In fact, my plan, starting tomorrow, is perhaps much less practical or sensible than any other postgraduate plan. Indeed, I expect to stay in this academic world as long as possible, get into as much debt as possible, and hope that 7 or 8 years from now, poets and professors will replace the current Hollywood elite, clamored for by intellectual admirers, followed by academic paparazzi, and offered a few $1 million to teach a course on, say, poetry. And while this may be unlikely, my English professors have instilled within me the confidence to pursue my passion and the mindset that this determination will pay. Perhaps not with real, tangible money, but it will pay. So while I cannot impart any groundbreaking wisdom like the stuff of a real graduation speech, I can, however, speak to what it means to be an English major at this polytechnic university, and why I believe this distinctive experience has prepared my fellow classmates and me with the skill set and mentality necessary to succeed, personally and professionally, in a variety of environments. But first, speaking of Hollywood, here at Cal Poly in the English department, we have our own set of celebrities. While there are no red carpets leading into their offices, and students do not usually beg for pictures or autographs, our English professors certainly have hundreds of devoted fans. Our professors exist as legends. At least in my book, they are the equivalent of epic heroic figures donning giant golden shields and fighting off strange green knights and multiple-headed dragons. They are, in short, much more than educators. They are mentors, role models, heroes, and yes, campus celebrities. They have been our leaders, the cornerstone of our education, translating and enlivening the words of the past, and effectively instilling a desire to engage with our culture, our humanity, and with each other. Indeed, one of the gifts that I believe that studying English and literature offers is the opportunity to construct thoughtful and interactive connections. Our classrooms are miniature models of civic engagement, grounded in a shared curiosity, tolerance, and equality. More often than not, when analyzing the literature and language of the past, we must all acknowledge that no one has the correct answers, but that we all have the responsibility, or rather the opportunity, to search anyways. If you have textual evidence and an argument, your position is valid. What this means is that the actual dissection of literature, the analysis, the discussion, is based entirely on the people in the classroom. Engagement is crucial. In an English class, you, as an individual, are relevant and respected. Your experiences, your ideologies, your identity shapes the broader group understanding. Every English classroom thus becomes a community. It is because of this that I stand firm and confident when I answer the following 2 questions. 1, what are you going to do with a degree in English? And 2, what are you going to do with a degree in English from a polytechnic university? My answer to the first, more general question, I believe is more obvious. Studying English has provided my classmates and me with a catalog of intellectual strengths and skills. Literature and language exist at an intersection. Studying English means simultaneously also studying and interacting with history, philosophy, psychology, sociology, and so forth. So while some of us may not possess a polytechnic mind, we are all certainly polymaths, individuals with a breadth of knowledge that spans across various subject fields. More specifically, our degree means that beyond learning how to ask insightful questions, close read text, construct arguments, and contextualize and organize evidence, we also recognize the importance of answering the crucial "so what" question. Why does what you are suggesting matter? You see, and here comes my answer to the second question. Technology, engineering, sciences, the various other polytechnic fields create the means to reach forward. Sometimes literally, their inventions, their structures, their research and discoveries extend a powerful arm ahead. The catch is, the farther the reach, the more essential it is that we ask, towards what? And this is not a question that can be answered through data collection or objective experiments. This answer is not in the back of the book. The "so what" question, the question that most of us have spent the last 4 years considering, is absent in many polytechnic fields. And while I do not mean to suggest that there is anything less valuable about a polytechnic expertise, I believe there is something stagnating about the pursuit of technical mastery. Becoming an expert in any field is finite. Yet, no matter how many books you read, or essays, novels, poems you construct, or even perhaps publish, complete mastery of literature and language is impossible. It is because of this that I believe that English majors understand and appreciate the critical difference between the love of knowledge and the love of learning. True, we have not spent our college days studying a trade or working to master one specialty, while our polytechnic neighbors spent their days constructing inventions that will launch us all further into a web of scientific, mathematical, or technological advancement. We spent days passionately debating the symbolic significance of the ending of Kate Chopin's The Awakening. Or maybe we had moved on a few decades from Chopin to contemplate the implications of certain line breaks or punctuation marks in Imagist poems. But regardless of the particulars of our conversations, what it all comes down to is we were studying our world and ourselves. You see, I will carry my identity as an English major with me everywhere because it will be applicable everywhere. What I have learned in these classrooms, from these professors and from those English majors, is how to observe, how to imagine and empathize, how to create, how to see this world, how to argue and analyze and think critically, and how to express myself coherently. So, what will we do with our English degrees? We will do everything. And now I would be remiss if I did not, on behalf of my peers and myself, deeply thank the individuals who have offered so much of their time and their energy to us. First, to our professors. It is because of you that I want to stay. I really don't want to go. I want to take the classes you are offering next year. I want to read and study alongside you for another year or another few years. But it is also because of you that I will go. I agreed to leave here today because I feel like I have a responsibility to you. I feel that we all have the responsibility to the people who have taught us and supported us to do something interesting with our lives. I cannot promise you that I will succeed, but I do promise that when I return to visit in a few years, I will at least have a few good stories to share. And now I would like to take a moment to acknowledge the support and sacrifices of our families. Thank you for answering the phone in the middle of the night to listen to potential thesis statements for that essay due tomorrow. Thank you for humoring our obsessions with Homer, Chaucer, Shakespeare, Wordsworth, Austen, Whitman, Hemingway, or whoever else it might be whose words keep us up late at night and follow us around during the day. In an effort to exemplify the idea that studying literature actually offers the opportunity to study life, my final thought comes directly from my very last English major course titled Literary Mesmerism, which focused on the representation of mesmerism in literature. Similar to today's hypnosis, 19th century mesmerism required two individuals, a hypnotist figure, identified then as the operator, and the subject or medium, who was put into a trance, then controlled by the powerful operator. So, my only suggestion for you today, don't be a medium. Don't live in a trance. Know that there are greater powers commanding people and dominating institutions, and they want you in a trance, blindly following orders, living life and acting based off of the parameters and boundaries they establish and enforce. But you see, the way out of a trance is simple. All you have to do is wake up. So leave here today awake, and every day forward, wherever you go to collect your interesting stories, be fully awake. Thank you.